Hi, this is Tracy from We Craft at Home. Today is the February Prep Christmas project, so I thought we'd do some simple cards that are quick and easy to make. They seem to be extremely popular. So today I am going with deer. I'm going to do some stamping and obviously some work on canvas as well. Now I already have these and they're mine to use, so I thought I'd go through these first. So we have just a silhouette of a reindeer or a stag, and just a simple Merry Christmas that's easy to cut out because it's nice and thick, and that can go underneath. I'm going to do this in the design of a DL card. Not only is that nice and cheap to post, but it seems to be coming back into popularity, so I thought I'd do one as a DL card, but we're going to add a few things to it first. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to colour it just so that I can show you what happens. I'm going to take the snowflake, size it down, need to bring it to the front, and I want a couple of them. So I want one that's fairly big down here, so I'm going to size that one back up again. And I'm going to do it right on the edge, like that. And then I want one on the opposite end that's not so big, and then one almost coming off by the chin. Like that. I think I might do that a bit smaller and turn it a little bit, just so it's different. Then we're going to grab it all and subtract, and then I'll show you the reason I coloured it is because now you can see that it's come through. But I also want to do an eye, and the easiest way I found, if we get an ellipse and a circle, we will start with the ellipse first, and we are going to push it quite far down, and then we are going to offset it with, I think I'll keep it at 20 because we're going to size it down quite a lot, so we need it. So we'll do 20 and everything else is fine. It's outwards, so we're going to send it to the back, and then we are going to subtract so that there's nothing in the middle. But then what we're going to do is add the circle so that it is centralized, but just slightly going over both sides. And the reason for that is because we are going to weld it. And then we're going to, let's size it down so you can see what I've done. Right down. Oh. We're going to slant it a little bit, and I'm going to colour it, let's do dark grey, just so that you can see. I think it does need to do that a little bit. And then we're going to bring it over there. Then you play with it to get it where you want. It's still fairly big. Let's see, there we go. And it's kind of the eye as well. You could even add a nose by doing a red circle or a brown circle, whatever you want to do. But I kind of like it left there. We will cut that out separately. And I think I will do this in brown and this in gold. So this would be a darker brown. Let's just go one shade darker. That's a bit better, isn't it? And then this, I would prefer in gold. Okay, so it's taken the, I see. Okay, that happened because it doesn't matter when you're cutting it out, it's still going to cut it all out. It's just so you can see here. If we ungroup, and then I am going to go to layers. Yeah, that one's at the front. We want the main outline at the back. And then we are going to pick it all up and subtract. Now when we colour it, it will just colour the letters in. So that is the main of the card. Now what I was thinking of doing was just doing like a snowflake embossed background. I have an embossing folder for that. If you don't have an embossing folder and you have the embossing on here, line embossing, there is a snowflake on here you could use, but you could still use this snowflake as well that we've used on the actual deer stag. Don't think any of these are snowflake. No. So you could keep one of these snowflakes and make an embossing file on your scan and cut, or use an embossing folder. I'm going to have a look and see what I've got, or maybe just stamping and inking. I've got some background trees and things that I might use as well. So that's the first one to cut out, and I'll see you over at the craft table. Okay, so I'm at the craft table. I just want to show you the sort of cards we're going to do. So I'm going to do one with a stamping background of a little bit of scenery. I've put the eye on that one. I'm not sure about it. You can decide for yourself. And I put a greeting on, which now I wished I had put a mat behind, but it still looks okay. I'm quite happy with that. I did cut my stag's heads out. It was meant to be like a coffee colour, but it didn't come out so well for me. So I have stained this one a darker brown, the same colour that I used round here. And this one I just embossed a piece of white card, and then I used gilding wax, and I used it on the deer as well. Left the eye off so you could see the difference. So two totally different cards. I mean, you don't have to rip the edges like I done. You don't even have to emboss, you could just put it straight on. I'm just trying to give you lots of different ideas. I did manage, in this size that I done on the machine, I managed to cut 4 out of an A4 piece of card. That's how many I got out of an A4 piece. I didn't try 12 by 12, but I'd imagine 6. But I managed to get 4 out of an A4 piece. So we'll start with this one because it's the quick and easy one. So I've used, I like the PBO gilding wax, and this one, I think, is it Egyptian gold? Empire gold. I knew it was an E. I'm using DL cards. Now my DL cards I usually sell, I haven't got any at the minute, apologies. I do in the 3 sheets, so the extra sheet is still left on there. And then I use that as the backing on the card, so that there's no waste for me or you. So the extra panel, I ripped it, I've embossed it, just with snowflakes. Can you see? There we go. So all I want to do is get the wax out. I do have a darker gold as well, but I kind of like this one more. So all I'm going to do is first of all run my finger over the edges, just like this. You're meant to get messy with this. If you don't like using your fingers, just use one of the many sponges. And then I'm going to do the deer as well. Okay, so I've gone round the edges and just round with it. Try to cover as much as I can, and then literally stick it on. Need a couple of pads. And then, I mean, that's really simple, so you can do that in a whole batch, couldn't you? It's that simple. I cut out the Merry Christmas the same as the other card, but it doesn't go with the gold. It looks terrible, so I'm not going to do that. But I tried to colour it and it didn't work because it's already gold foil, so that's no good. So I have to do a different one of them for this card. That's all. Move on to the other card. I will just clean the it comes straight off, so there's no worries there. There you go, it's off already. So all I've done is dab a bit of tissue in some water. I don't mind getting so messy, but some people don't like it, so okay, so that's the gilding wax. Again, it's a very simple card, nice and easy, and very good for batch making. Now the stamped card. So like I said, I've got my my DL cards I sell with the third strip still on it, because what I do, I use it as a backing. So I'm just gonna cut off the extra strip so that I can use that. And we're going to take a 1/4 inch off each way so that it's a little bit smaller. So that'll be 3 3/4 by 8. So we'll do the 8 while I'm there. And it should fit nicely inside. There you go, like that. Just so that we've got a nice white border of the card around it. Turn that light off. Now, the stamps I used was one I got from the cheap China places. Oh, I'm so organised, aren't I? Oh, there it is. That's what I was looking for. Sorry, guys. I like to be organised, you know. So, as you can see, we've got the trees. Actually, I use these trees. We've got them trees down here. And then the scene of trees a little bit further up with mountains behind it. And then I used just a nice brown to stain all around it. So, this was a cheap couple of pound set that I got from China. I started off using this one. I did have a smaller stamp block. Okay. So I'm just using my VersaFine inks for this because they're very good for picking up all the small details that you get, like in the tree. So always remember, make sure you've got a flat surface and that you're doing pad to stamp, sorry. So I'm going to start off just by doing some trees down here. You want to print some off page so they're not all, and then we're going to double stamp so we've got some shadowing. And then I'm going to do exactly what I told you not to do. So we'll come here too and then go off. So we're double stamping so that there's a shadow behind, as you can see. There you go. And vary the size of the trees as well so that they're not all the same size. That is because I'm doing this. I've just got ink all over it. Okay, so we'll have this whole one on there because I haven't done that yet. And then behind them we'll do, and then I'm going to do it once more. So you can see the effect is it looks like there's some trees in the background further away that you can't quite see, and that's the idea. So we wanted that. I think what I might do is do a couple more in the distance, so stamp off. Go there and there. I want one there, so let's see if we can do it anyway. There we go. Just so that it's more full. So I've done that. I'll clean that afterwards. And then in the middle I use this one because it's like you can't see it very well because I've covered it, but it's this one. So it looks like maybe there was some water or something in between. And then I've put the mountains behind that. So it's the same green. I love this green, it's perfect for Christmas. It's called Olympia green. It's probably one of my most used ones. So what I like to do is stamp off like that and then come a bit further up that way, because you don't want it going straight across the whole card. And then what we could do is shadow it again. So it looks like there's more there than what's there. So I'm just going to do it one more time so I can do a bit more shadowing. See, I've got ink all over that. So I'm going to stamp off. And then I am going to try and go there we go. So it just looks like there's more there, sort of builds it up a bit. And then my mountains. Now the mountains I've done in grey, VersaFine Smoky Grey. Probably use this more than my black, to be honest. I like a more subtle outline. Depends what you're doing, I guess. Now the same thing, you want to come close but stamp off the page a little bit, and then come over here and just come a little bit, oh, a little bit forward and do that. And then luckily I was going to do it again as a shadow. I'm going to do that one as a shadow, just although I'm going over the top of it, because it's a shadow it won't necessarily look like it, as you can see. Now you can build that up as much as you want. I'm going to leave that there. I think I did do a bit more on there, but I think I'll leave it there. You get the picture. So you can just build up by second generation, third generation stamping. That's what it's called. Just to get a lighter print so it looks like it's further in the background. And I think that's enough. Now to go around the edges, I've used opaque ink for blending. It's Seal Brown it's called, and I've just literally gone around the edges like this. Of course this will work on any shape card you want to do. I just done the DL because they seem to be back in popularity again. Right, now I'm just trying to make sure that there's a nice defined line around most of the reindeer. It's a bit hard to do where the snowflakes are. Okay, so again, easy card to make in a bundle. Where have I put the card? Oh, I've done it in the opposite way round. Oh, that's okay. So we would put, I'm going to do it to make sure it goes over that mark, and so I would put my sentiment at the top on this one because I need to cover that mark I made. But before I do, although it's very nice, it's not very snowy. So if you wanted to go that step further, I just like to squash it down a little bit. And let your finger dib dab. So it's got the texture. A bit more on there. go a snowy scene instead. And then, I was hoping I had enough, I'm just going to do a little bit around the snowflakes. And again, we'll put them on pads. So he's standing out. So it depends how far you want to go with this, really, because if you're using them as batch making cards, then it's a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? So you could put snow on the antlers if you wanted, or just leave it as simple as. So because I want to cover that, I'm going to put that there, like that. So we have another Merry Christmas, and this one we can put up there instead. There's the two cards I just made again. As you can see, they're totally different, and you can add, take away, or do whatever you like to them. Okay, nice with some pearls maybe. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.